Well, hello, boys and girls. How are you today? It's your favourite grumpy granny from Groker's Patch, and it is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Oh, yeah. It's 37 going to be, well, not quite yet, but it's going to be 37 degrees here. It's about 33 right now at 1:40. So let me just pop my phone on silent because it's going to keep making noises. So it's a tad warm. Anyway, hopefully I'll see a few of you tonight. Friday Night Live time. Yay! Right, so what are we going to do today? Well, first of all, I have to do a little shout out to Octo, who keeps complaining that I don't give him enough member shout outs. So shout out Octo for being my very first member on my channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So just thought I'd make it just a little bit special for him. And then now, this time, he won't be able to complain, and nobody else will be able to complain, will they, Graham? Okay, let's go. So today I'm going to show you all about your eBay store and the things that you can do to make it a bit different and, make it your own, I guess. So let's go and share a screen. And here we go. We've got the screen up. And what we're going to do is we're on our Seller Hub, of course, and we are going to go up here to where it says store. So the first thing we'll look at is we're actually going to just go to here where it says store categories, because I have been asked before about store categories and how to do them. So you can make up your own store categories. You don't have to. You can just use the eBay categories. But I find doing my own individual store categories actually helps me with my organization and all that sort of stuff. So because I have things like clothing, which encompasses, several different eBay categories. So that works out really well. I have things like handbags and purses in the one category. So even though they're on separate eBay categories, they're in the one in my store. So it just helps me keep a little bit more organized. Now I'll just scroll down so you can see the sorts of things I have in my categories. You don't have to have what I have, but I'm just showing you that these are some of the ones that I have. I also, because I sort of try to often find plus size clothing, because I know sometimes it's hard to get and people do like to buy it online, I also have a plus size clothing category, which is in addition to my clothing category. So when I actually list a piece of clothing that is plus size, I put that item into the two categories. So it'll be in the clothing category, and then it will also be in the plus size category. I just find that way, if someone is plus size and then they don't have to actually try and scroll through all the normal regular size clothing, they can go straight to that one. So there you go. That's how I do mine. Now, you can go up here. You can have subcategories in your categories. I did try that once, but got very confusing. So I did try it with the books. So I thought with the books, I'd do books and then I'd do fiction and non-fiction. And then I thought I'd do a romance section. Yeah, got a bit untidy. And it's very hard because sometimes books need to go in more than one subcategory in a book section. So it's something to play around with if you want to do it. But what I'm going to do is just show you how to add a category. So it's very simple. There's this little sign here just says add store category. And so then you can add your category name. You can add whatever you want. So just because for this example, and I will give you the heads up, when you create a category, it may not be visible straight away. So if you're listing something new, don't think that you can put it in that category immediately. Also, with store categories, you can put your item in both the your item will be in both eBay categories, and then if you assign it to a store category, it'll be in that as well. So you just have to remember that when you're listing, you need to put it into both sections. So just for our example, what am I going to do? Let me think. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put lint rollers as a category. Just for the hell of it, because I use them a lot and it's something that's always sitting in front of me. So there we go. So look, I'm going to save that one. So that will be down here because I've got them all in under alphabetical order. Now, if I wanted to do this and I wanted to add a subcategory, I can click on the little edit button here and go down and I can add subcategories. So in this case, if I've got lint rollers, the subcategories I might add would be refills. And then I also might add rollers. So I would have them in two separate sections. So that's just to explain to you how to do that. So then you'll see there's a little arrow that appears here and there's a number 2 next to it. So it's actually showing that in this category, there are 2 subcategories. And there you can see refills and rollers. So that is how you do that. So it's very simple. Now, with your categories, you can edit them. Over here, if you just click the edit button, you can move them. So you can put them in one category as a subcategory under another. If you decide that you want to do that, you can rename them or you can delete them. You can't delete them if you have got items assigned to those categories. So you have to make sure that those, if you want to delete a category, you have to wait until there's nothing assigned to those categories. So just remember that. So that is how to do the actual categories. Now, if we go back up to our actual store, so we'll go to Edit Store. You'll see now when we scroll down here, and I've got store categories written here. So you can actually put the ones that you want in these ones up the top here. You can actually show it to have whatever category you want. So you just click on this little drop down arrow here and select the category that you want to change it to. So if I wanted to change this category to lint rollers, I would just click there, which I don't really want to do because there's nothing in there. So I put some of my favourite categories up the top. You can put 6 categories up the top, and I've made these little icons on Canva, which is really quite easy to do. And so the other things you can do with your store, of course, are do your banner, which we've talked about before. And you can make yourself a nice little logo. And like I've got a cartoon image of myself. You don't have to do something like that or have a picture of yourself. You can have some other little logo thing. Again, if you go into something like Canva, it will give you examples and you can actually create. The thing to remember with that is it's going to be a circular image when you put it up on here. So just remember that. And then we'll scroll down. Now, because I had been doing the store resets, I didn't have my featured listings in here because every time that I had my featured listings, now I'll just go up here and go to visit store so you can see it from what a person coming into my store would see, not from what I see. So it's all a lot bigger. So you've got your little the featured categories up the top, and the person can just scroll across to see them all, see the couple that they can't see. And then this row here shows up with newly listed items, so things that have been listed today. And someone can scroll across that. Then there is your, you can also put in this main sort of selling point, I guess. And there's a button over here and you can put your own titles and subtitles in there to make it look good and go shop now. And then down the bottom, it's going to show all items. And it sort of tends to be in a random sort of a, order at times, which is probably good because it shows up different things at different times. Right. So I'm just going to go back to manage my store because you can put in other types of featured listings. So you can actually go at up to 4 rows, and you'll see here, the newly listed ones I've got up there are already auto-populated, so it will automatically list the new stuff I sell. But there are some manual, there are a couple of those, so you can, the ones that you can put in there are auctions ending soon if you do auctions, and the newly listed for automated. But you might want to do some manual ones. So you can have a row which is featured items, and these are the things you can have. You can have bestsellers, popular items, holiday collection, items on sale, just in, top picks, Mother's Day, Father's Day. So there's quite a few there that you can actually put in there. There's a rustling behind me. But for this, I'm just going to go featured items. So just make sure that's ticked and just go add row. Now you've got to fill these out yourself. So this is all manual. So you just go in here, select listing. Now you can search for the listing, or these are the most recent things that have been posted up. So you can just choose something from there, which is what I am going to do today. I'm just going to, for this row, I am going to put some books. And I'm going to choose ones. I'm not going to just pick up any old book. I'm just going to choose some interesting looking books that will look good together and might be enticing to some collectors. As I go down, we'll go John LeClaire. And what else will we choose? Mountains of Magic. That's quite an interesting book, because you want to have nice, bright, ones that people will be attracted to, that they might sort of, even if they don't buy those books, they'll be able to see that generally that is the type of stuff that you've got in your store. So I've chosen a couple of vintage and antique ones there. But if there's a specific book that you want to put in there and you know the name, you can just do the search for it. Well, it's past Christmas, so I won't choose the Nutcracker. What else? I just need to choose one, don't I? I'll do that one. Okay, so there we go. So there are my featured items. Now, if I want to add, so that's 2 rows that I've got, so you can have up to 4 rows. So for the next one, I'll go manual, and then we will choose, what we choose now. I might choose top picks for the next row, add row, and again, you can select the ones that you want. For this one, I want to do some clothing because I've already put up the books there, and I actually want to put in some jeans and have some cool jeans in there. So I'm going to choose mostly vintage ones, of course. So I'll get these denim and thread ones. And each time you go back in, if you've done a search for something, you have to put it in again. Now, I've got these Fabergé ones, which would be cool to put in there, but it's not a very good photo of it, so I'm going to leave those. But I think I'll put these Katie ones in because they're a nice red. They look pretty cool. I mean, this is annoying, but it only takes a couple of minutes. These de jour jeans are pretty cool. They're Australian-made, vintage. And what else have we got? That's pretty cool. Oh, we might go those. And then what we'll find is a pair of Quicksilver. And then my last one is going to be, there's a pair of Esprit pants, which are really cool wide leg pants. So I'll put those there. So I'm only going to put the 2 rows there for now because that'll give me 3 rows and it leaves me 1 spare in case I do decide I want to do that later. So once you've actually done that, make sure before you go any further that you hit the publish button. But before we do that, I want to show you one thing. anything that's got the little pencil in it is something that you can actually change, modify, do for yourself. So you can use this marketing banner, which will be blank when you go in there, and you just need a picture, a nice picture. I actually made a collage on it, just a collage app on my phone of all different of my cool looking jeans. I mean, some of them have sold. These embroidered ones here have already sold, but that doesn't matter. It's just generally showing what I've got in my store. So if you wanted to change any of that, you can actually go hit that and go edit banner or remove banner. And you can go in there and edit it. But if you haven't got one there, it'll let you add the banner. And down here, you can choose with all your listings, you can choose whether you have them show up by eBay category or by store category. Well, I don't mind to show up by store category because that's how I like it to be. So when I've made all the changes that I want to change, and look, sometimes it's just when you go into one of these sections, it's just a matter of looking around and seeing what you can find. So I'm just going to go publish, and it then comes up with that, and then I'm going to go visit store so that it looks like the way it would for a customer and see what it looks like. So you'll see I've still got my newly listed items here. And then here's the row that I did for the featured items. And you'll see it's really the first 4 images that are the most important because they're the ones that are going to attract people because they're the ones that are going to show up first rather than all of them. So, yeah, I kind of wish I'd put those as spree pants over a bit further. But anyway, I'll do that next time. So that is just a little overview of the store and how to fix it, how to create categories, and perhaps how to do a little bit of, shuffling around and creating a really nice storefront for people to visit. And, I think that's important if you're wanting to get repeat customers, because if they know, I've got customers that know that I sell that plus size clothing and they know that they can just come straight back to the store and have a look and go straight to the plus size category and have a look and see if there's anything new that they personally would like. So it works out really well like that. Okay, now I am back now I'm back in here again. I am just sharing this screen again, and I'm just going to do a little shout out here to Adam, Books Along With Stuff, who actually did buy one of my book bundles. He apparently collects these Love Sweat books. These are older ones of these. These are all from between 1986 and 1989. And so when I made these bundles up, I did them as close to order as I can. So if you actually look here, you can see it's got 189, 190, 193, 252, 300, 308, 305. So I went through and I put them in order, and then I did the bundles to get, to try and have a run on if that was possible. So yeah, it's a bundle of 8 books. Adam has paid $22.19. Plus $11 postage, but then he also did get a discount on that, which I will tell you what it was because I had a 30% off discount running. So he got $6.66 off that. So in the end, he paid $26.53, including postage. And by the time I took out the fees and the postage and packaging, etc., I'm left with a profit of $10.16. So that's right on my little line there, which is very good. So that is it. Let's just get out of there. So that is it today, boys and girls. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope to see you at Friday Night Live tonight. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow.